Good evening. This is All India Radio and I'm Punita Bakshi with the news at 9. The headlines. India and Uganda signed 4 MOUs in the fields of defence cooperation, cultural exchange program and visa exemption for officials. 2 lines of credit worth $200 million also announced following delegation-level talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Ugandan President in Kampala. Centre asks states to appoint a nodal officer in each district to prevent incidents of mob violence and lynching. Rajasthan government orders judicial inquiry into Rakbar death case. Parliament passes Prevention of Corruption Amendment Bill 2018. In Jammu and Kashmir, 1 CRPF Jawan killed in a terrorist attack in Batmalu area of Srinagar. Pakistan goes to polls tomorrow to elect a new government. And in sports, 5 Indian shuttlers progress to the second round of Russia Badminton Open. India and Uganda signed 4 MOUs in the areas of defence cooperation, visa exemption for official and diplomatic passport holders, cultural exchange program and material testing laboratory. The agreements were inked following delegation-level talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni in Kampala this evening. The 2 leaders comprehensively reviewed all aspects of bilateral relations. India also announced 2 lines of credit worth nearly $200 million to Uganda in energy, infrastructure, agriculture and dairy sectors. In a joint press briefing with the Ugandan President, Mr. Modi said India will also give ambulances and cancer therapy machines to Uganda.
युगांडा की आर्थिक प्रगति और राष्ट्रीय विकास के प्रयासों में भारत हमेशा साथ रहा है. ट्रेनिंग, कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग, टेक्नोलॉजी, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर आदि हमारे सहयोग के प्रमुख क्षेत्र रहे हैं. भविष्य में भी हम युगांडा की आवश्यकताओं और प्राथमिकताओं के अनुसार अपना सहयोग जारी रखेंगे.
The Prime Minister reached the Ugandan capital Kampala this afternoon on the second leg of his 3 African nations tour after concluding his Rwanda visit. Mr. Modi was accorded a ceremonial reception at the State House. The Prime Minister will also deliver the keynote address at the Ugandan Parliament. He will also interact with members of the Indian community. During his Rwanda visit, the Prime Minister today attended the India-Rwanda Business Forum in Kigali. Addressing the leading CEOs from the 2 countries, Mr. Modi said his government wants to boost economic ties between India and Rwanda. India and Rwanda signed 8 agreements in various fields, including defence, trade and agriculture. Addressing a joint press conference, Mr. Modi said India will soon open a High Commission in Rwanda, which will not only establish communication between the governments of the 2 countries, but also enable facilities for consular, passport and visa.
मुझे ये बताते हुए प्रसन्नता है कि हम शीघ्र ही रवांडा में हाई कमीशन खोलने वाले हैं. इससे न सिर्फ हमारी सरकारों के बीच घनिष्ठ संवाद संभव होगा, साथ ही कॉन्सुलर पासपोर्ट और वीजा तथा अन्य सुविधाएं भी सुलभ होगी. हम दोनों देशों के बीच संबंधों को आने वाले समय में और अधिक उच्च स्तर पर ले जाने के लिए आशान्वित हैं.
On the last leg of his 5-day visit to Africa, Mr. Modi will attend the 10th BRICS Summit at Johannesburg in South Africa. The summit will be attended by the heads of the 5 BRICS nations. During the summit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will have bilateral talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping, Russian President Vladimir Putin and South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. The Indian High Commissioner in South Africa, Ms. Ruchira Kamboj, in an exclusive interview with AIR said that at the heart of BRICS is people-to-people contact, and India in recent times has taken a number of initiatives to promote this.
There are new areas of cooperation that are being looked at, like ICT, e-commerce, regional aviation, education, etc. But the host country, South Africa, has come up with some interesting initiatives that are being discussed and are being considered as part of the Johannesburg Declaration. For example, a vaccine research center, the peacekeeping group idea that South Africa has promoted, and of course a women's forum, all of which activities are being supported by India. Also, South Africa will continue with the BRICS tradition in previous years of a BRICS Plus outreach and that these are initiatives that India is supporting.
Our correspondent reports that the theme for the summit is BRICS and Africa Collaboration for Inclusive Growth and Shared Prosperity in the Fourth Industrial Revolution.
The summit will be attended by the heads of the 5 BRICS countries, including Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This is the second visit of Mr. Modi to South Africa since 2016. The Prime Minister will also have bilateral meetings with leaders of BRICS nations on the sidelines of the summit. Various issues of global and regional importance will be discussed during the summit. The core areas of discussion will be inclusive growth, global governance, infrastructure development, industrial growth, health and vaccines. Taking cue from the volatile global situations where Middle East and West Asia is in a state of flux, the issue of international peace and security will be taken up during the summit. This is Saurabh Kumar from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Union Minister Arun Jaitley has said that Congress has made an issue out of Rafale aircraft deal unnecessarily. In his Facebook post today, Mr. Jaitley criticized the Congress for seeking details on the price of the deal. He reminded the then UPA ministers that they also never disclosed the cost breakup of the weaponry because that is not in the larger national interest. Mr. Jaitley said the UPA regime was stigmatized by corruption, whereas Prime Minister Narendra Modi has led a scam-free government. In Assam, the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, PMGSY, has proved to be a boon for the rural people. The PMGSY was launched by the centre to provide connectivity to unconnected habitations as part of a poverty reduction strategy. Here is a ground report from our correspondent.
In Assam, over 19,000 kilometers of rural roads have been constructed since 2006. The state has been able to connect 312 rural habitations by constructing 1,509 kilometers of length of road under PMGSY during 2017 and 18. Generally, road construction works are disrupted in monsoon session in the state due to floods. Despite the hardship, the Assam government is likely to construct 8,000-kilometer roads under the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana in the next 1 year. Raman Bora, a resident of Golaghat district, said that road connectivity has been improved in the state and hoped that the government would take steps for further development.
मैं रहता हूँ गोलाघाट डिस्ट्रिक्ट का देरगांव में है कुमार गांव, उसमें रहता हूँ. हमारा गांव का रास्ता घाट पहले बहुत खराब था, लेकिन अभी प्राइम मिनिस्टर का प्रधानमंत्री का जो ग्राम सड़क योजना है वो उसका अंदर काम कर रहा है. अभी रास्ता घाट बहुत अच्छा हो रहा है, हमको भी अच्छा लगता है.
The construction of good roads would certainly bring prosperity to the rural areas. So the thrust is being given by the centre to construct all-weather roads in Assam. With Manas Pratim Sharma, Aarti Rana for AIR News.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts. The Parliament has passed the Prevention of Corruption Amendment Bill 2018 after Lok Sabha passed it this evening. Replying to a debate on the bill, Minister for Personnel and Public Grievances, Dr. Jitendra Singh said, as a responsible elected government, the NDA government has taken many steps to curb evils like corruption. He said the bill reflects that there should be zero tolerance towards corruption and there should be no harassment to honest public servants. Terming the legislation as historic, Dr. Singh said corruption all over the world is perpetual, but the government will continue its fight against corruption. On the 19th of this month, the Rajya Sabha had passed the Prevention of Corruption Amendment Bill. The centre today said it is implementing Andhra Pradesh Reorganisation Act in its letter and spirit and has fulfilled 90% promises made in the Act. Replying to a short-duration discussion on the Act in the Rajya Sabha, Home Minister Rajnath Singh said the government is fulfilling the commitment made by previous government and is committed to fulfill all promises. He stressed that Andhra Pradesh has received more grants than it would have received under special category status. Initiating the discussion earlier, senior Telugu Desam Party leader Y.S. Chaudhary accused the Narendra Modi government of failing to implement the Act. Members from various political parties including Congress, BJP, CPIM, AIADMK, BSP and BJD participated in the discussion. Centre has asked states to appoint a nodal officer in each district to prevent incidents of mob violence and lynching. In its advisory, the Home Ministry said the nodal officer should be an officer of Superintendent of Police level. It has also asked to set up a special task force to procure intelligence reports about the people who are likely to commit such crimes or who are involved in spreading hate speeches, provocative statements and fake news. Home Ministry said the process of identification should be done within a period of 3 weeks. The advisory has been sent to the states and union territories following a Supreme Court directive issued in this regard on the 17th of this month. In Rajasthan, the state government has ordered judicial inquiry in Rakbar death case. Rajasthan Home Minister Gulab Chand Kataria said evidence in the Rakbar Khan case suggested that it was a custodial death, and the state government has taken steps to get a judicial probe conducted. He also said an initial compensation of 1.25 lakh rupees had been ordered for the family of the deceased. More from our correspondent.
As per the Section 176 of CRPC, the judicial inquiry has assigned to Additional Chief Judicial Magistrate of Rajgarh. Home Minister Gulab Chand Kataria, with senior officials, today visited the place of occurrence and accepted that death of Rakbar happened in police custody. He said that if police would have rushed to hospital first, he would have been saved. Home Minister also chaired a high-level meeting in Jaipur today on this issue. 1 police personnel have already been suspended and 4 others have been attached with police line in this issue. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
In Jammu and Kashmir, an injured CRPF Jawan who sustained fatal injuries after unknown terrorists attacked paramilitary CRPF party at Batmalu area in Srinagar died this evening. Security sources said another injured Jawan has been taken to hospital for specialized treatment. Terrorists opened fire upon CRPF personnel in the area, leaving 2 Jawans injured. A manhunt has been launched to nab the attackers. Pakistan will go to polls tomorrow to elect a new Prime Minister. The civilian transfer of power in the country is taking place for only the second time in the nation's over 70-year history. The voting will start at 8 a.m. local time and will continue till 6 in the evening. The main contest is between 3 main players: Shahbaz Sharif, the president of the PMLN, cricketer-turned-politician Imran Khan's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, and Pakistan People's Party led by Bilawal Bhutto. The run-up to the polls have seen a massive crackdown on the media and allegations that the military has secretly backed the campaign of Imran Khan while targeting his political opponents. The military has ruled Pakistan through various coups for nearly half of the country's history since its formation in 1947. The counting will be done on the spot and results will be announced within 24 hours after the polling. In badminton, 5 Indian shuttlers progressed to the men's singles second round of Russia Open in Vladivostok today. Ajay Jairam brushed aside Canada's Xiao Tun Shun, while Pratul Joshi dumped Canada's Jeffrey Lam. Mithun Manjunath, Siddharth Pratap Singh and Rahul Yadav Chittaboina also reached the second round. Parupalli Kashyap and RMV Gurusaidat have got byes in the first round. They will face their opponents tomorrow. Chirag Sen was also handed a bye in the first round. Indian men beat Saudi Arabia 3-0 in the World Junior Squash Championships in Chennai today. India will take on Switzerland later this evening. In other results, Egypt beat Singapore 3-0, England beat South Africa 2-1 and Colombia beat Qatar 3-0. A total of 24 countries divided into 8 groups are taking part in the tournament. 2 teams from each group will advance to the knockout phase. The final will be played on Sunday. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. India and Uganda signed 4 MOUs in the fields of defence cooperation, cultural exchange program and visa exemption for officials. 2 lines of credit worth $200 million also announced following delegation-level talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Ugandan President in Kampala. Centre asks states to appoint a nodal officer in each district to prevent incidents of mob violence and lynching. Rajasthan government orders judicial inquiry into Rakbar death case. Parliament passes Prevention of Corruption Amendment Bill 2018. In Jammu and Kashmir, 1 CRPF Jawan killed in terrorist attack in Batmalu area of Srinagar. Pakistan goes to polls tomorrow to elect a new government. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.